Right now we're at the Museum of Natural History in Copenhagen, and in my favorite part, the Egypt Hall. And they have two mummies right now on display, and they're nice mummies, I have to say. Right over here, this is actually a Roman mummy, and at the top here you can see a face, and this was actually painted on linen. It's called cartonnage, and it's known as a Fayum portrait. The Fayum is an area in Egypt, and for a period of time the Romans began putting faces on and then incorporating it into the linen of the wrapping. Was it the person, what they looked like, or do they kind of dress the person up, make them look a little better? It's kind of hard to say. I imagine they cleaned them up a little bit, but maybe that's an approximation of what the person would have looked like. You can see also the linen wrapping is much more fancy and ornate than the mummy over here, which would have been an Egyptian, someone who may have been mummified prior to the Greeks and the Romans. Here you can see the person's head mask. Death masks, that's a misnomer. This is actually made of cartonnage, and the face that you see here is the idealized person, or male or female's face. It's not what they themselves would have looked like. And the paint, some people think it's solid gold, but it's like gold paint. Much cheaper. Only the pharaohs would have had solid gold mask, and when we think of that, you always think of Tut. But here on the chest and right over the sternum, this is cartonnage again. You have different gods being depicted. Here you can see this god right here, that's Osiris. Over here too, that's Osiris. And this mummy looks like it's had a little bit of a hard time. But here too, you can see that this is actually bitumen, which is a type of tar that actually percolates up in like the Sinai, getting into Saudi Arabia. And bitumen they actually use today, oftentimes when they're repairing a roof and they're tarring it. Well, the tar is actually bitumen. And here you can see this is common too. They actually put cartonnage on the feet, and then they painted sandals, because in the afterlife you're going to need sandals. So a quick little synapse of some mummies that we have here. Some things you can apply a lot of time: bitumen, cartonnage, head mask, not a death mask,